Hello, my name is Aigne'r Petty, and my practicum site is the Lowry Center located in Hyattsville. My duties and responsibilities were to assist the teachers when needed, clean the tables after breakfast and sometimes lunch, although the teachers did that as well, make sure the kids do their routines, refill the cleaning bottles, help the kids with their morning activity, play with them, and just overall being a caregiver, someone they could look up to. What I learned from this was how to take care of children, excuse me, who suffer through trauma or have developmental issues. Even though I have taken care of children before, it hasn't been to this extent. And while being at the Lower Center, I've learned how to be a supportive figure for children and how their minds work from after they undergo distressing experiences. I've also learned that every child and situation is different. Plus, children need to express themselves differently, whether that's running up and down the hallways, just screaming, just doing like little different movements, which I already knew, but it was just really nice to see that at this site, really see that with my own eyes and through a new lens. Thank you. The first interviewee is Miss Jasmine.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Boyd, and I'm the classroom social worker for the TMP Hyattsville program. One of the reasons that I chose TMP is just because the age population that we work with is a population that's always been very near and dear to my heart, and I just felt that as a social worker, this is a way that I would be able to give back, and while working with a population that is very vulnerable and very in need of the services that we offer. And it was just a good fit for what I was looking for right now, and the type of work that I'm interested in doing. My impression of Miss Aigne'r, she has been nothing but a pure joy to work with over these last few months. She has come in every day to the center, and she was dedicated and she was immediate to jump in to ask how she could be of help, how she could be of assistance. Even the children that we work with, some of the children are very unique individuals, and we have children who've come to us with trauma, who've come to us with behavioral issues and different things like that. But Aigne'r has just been so patient and so caring with each of our children, even on those tough days when we all might have been struggling with any of the children at any given time. Aigne'r, she was able to come in. She was patient. She had this just quiet tone and quiet voice about herself, but our children responded to that, and our children responded to her very well. Honestly, I have no recommendations for any improvements or any weaknesses or anything that I noticed in Aigne'r during her time with us. I do believe that she is a great asset, and she's going to go on to have an amazing future in whatever field that she chooses to pursue her career in. And I just have nothing but great things to say about Aigne'r. Thank you.
Next is Miss Tiffany.
My name is Tiffany McCleary. I am a classroom social worker here at TMP Hyattsville. Why did I choose TMP? I chose TMP because I have worked with the adult population before, and I've seen where in most cases with the people that I work with, that they had diagnoses that were, overlooked when they were younger. So I wanted to, kind of went back down on the age scale to work with individuals within a different age, within a younger age group than the adults, to kind of see how I could be of an impact in that age range and that type of population. So that's why I chose this population and TMP. Any improvements or weakness that I've seen in Miss Aigne'r, I would say she has been a tremendous help throughout the classroom within the time she's been here with us. She'll just come in and fill in the gaps whenever we need her, or without us even asking. So that was very awesome of her. The kids gravitated to her very well. I didn't see much weaknesses with her. Even though she's very soft-spoken, the kids, listen and were very attentive. Her gentle skills really help within the classroom. All the best, Aigne'r.
Next up is Miss Yvonne.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Jean Berluch, and I am the lead teacher for the TMP Hyattsville location. Why did I choose TMP? Well, I have some previous experience in working in a therapeutic nursery. So I'm, vaguely familiar with trauma in childhood and how important attachment, secure attachment is for children, especially at an early age. And I believe that I just wanted to be a part of, being in that in a preventative place of taking care of children and helping children grow to be secure and healthy minded adults. Areas of improvement for Aigne'r. Aigne'r has been such a great support and a great help in our classroom. She always was that quiet spirit in the classroom, which the kids needed. There were times where, that classroom could get loud, the classroom could get rough, but Aigne'r being there was always that quiet presence to help, soothe the children. There was a point in the beginning when she first came, and she had asked me, what are some areas of improvements? And the one thing that I had said was just for her to feel more comfortable in interacting with the children. And from that day on, she definitely made the changes. She was interacting with the kids with no problem. I didn't need to ask her for anything. She already knew what her role was, what the routine was. If she saw that a child was playing by themselves, she would gladly get up and go and play with the child, help the children with their morning work, even with breakfast and sometimes lunch. So she's been such a pleasure to have in the classroom. Thank you.
And lastly is Miss Marinella, my supervisor. So with me today is Miss Marinella. She's Assistant Director at the Therapeutic Nursery Program. So hello, Miss Marinella. How are you today?
Hi, Aigne'r. I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for agreeing to do this interview. So my first question is, why did you choose TNP?
I chose TMP because the work that we do is so important and it matters to me working with the population that's the most vulnerable in our community. Many times it takes a special type of person who wants to do this job. To give you a little background, I used to work in early childhood. I used to be a teacher before I became a clinical social worker. And that's when I realized that the work needs to happen outside of the classroom. And that's why I chose social work. So when I discovered TMP, that I could be still in the early childhood field and combine it with the clinical work, it was like the match in heaven for me. Because again, a lot of our little ones are experiencing so much trauma, what we call capital T trauma or little t trauma, right? It doesn't have to be just those big events. If anybody of you is aware of adverse childhood experiences, the ACEs for short, ACE, please look it up, because there's a lot that is happening in our communities, especially coming, from the pandemic when we were virtual. And our children experience a lot, they witness a lot, they hurt a lot too. And TMP gives them the space to process that, to be understood, but we can give them the time and give them the tools to understand their stories.
Well, thank you. And the last question is, do you see any strengths or areas of improvement in me?
Oh, I was not expecting that one. I think all of us are always can learn, and yes, since you're at the beginning of your career, there's so much that's yet to come your way as you continue your journey in the mental health world. I think stay curious. When you think you know something, remember that every client will be your teacher. The learning will happen in your, if you stay with therapy or whatever role you're gonna have moving forward. But in mental health, the learning happens outside of the classroom. So just stay curious. That's my biggest I guess tip for you, right? Use that trauma lens that you learn here at TMP. What's happening to the child? Know what's wrong with this child. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Bruce Perry, because a child psychiatrist, and he wrote the book What Happened to You. So that would be a recommendation from me to you, to read that book, because it's such a nice intro into trauma, how he breaks it down. And yeah, stay curious, stay open, and remember that is not what's wrong with you, is what happened to you.
Thank you so much, Miss Marinella, and hope you have a great day.
You're welcome.
And lastly is the video of the classroom that I took, and pictures of the calm down corner and the calm down room that kids use when they need a break. So over here is where the little steps for when they go outside. They have their books for when they read during their morning meeting and nap time. This carpet right here is where they do, like I said before, they do their morning meeting. They do they play over here after they do the activity, and they do their nap time. That station over there is when they get to play. They could choose any toys they want. They have cars, Legos, train tracks. Over there is dramatic play. They could do pretend to cook. They can do be a police officer, a fireman, and a doctor. Over here is where they do their activity and they get to play in the morning. Over here is where they do their morning activity after they first come in and do their routine check. Over here is just some more games to play, some more books to read. This table is where they eat breakfast and lunch.